dish.
All right, it's time for the 6th Annual International Women's Day Video Festival, live from Cambridge.
Weed woman. Men have looked at me like a weed, let their eyes slide carelessly over and off my body, water on smooth glass, leaving debris like thunder, like blood, full of my unfulfilled want and disappointed possibility. Men have breathed me like new air, sucked in my strange and useful, spit out a wrinkled and sagging skin. What I have allowed, push, pull, snag, exhale. What I have been, milkweed, dandelion, tumbleweed, burr, anything less than a woman with seeds.
The well-known oppression, we can name it, are mainly, one is dowry problem, where the woman has to bring a lot of money in marriage. And there are many, many women who cannot afford to get married because of the dowry problems. It is really, really becoming a big amount. And the other thing I would like to share with you is that female infanticide, in order to avoid the dowry problems, when the female child is born, they kill her in order to avoid the dowry problems. And when the female child is born, it is a kind of burden, and when the male child is born, it is a blessing for the family.
I think the issues for the 1990s is child abuse. I think there should be more counseling for the people that abuse their child and more counseling for the children themselves.
One of the most important issues I feel is rape. And I think that a lot of women need to be aware of what they can do and how they can defend themselves, and they need to get some protection, maybe mace or anything, take a self-defense class, things like that.
When I was about 20 and I was getting my master's degree, one of the men in my class, he was about 36, 37, and we had had several conversations after class and a cup of coffee, and he finally asked me out for dinner. He told me that he was employed by the Human Resources Commission in the city, and he did counseling for women who had problems, and he seemed very understanding and very warm. And I thought that it was a very wonderful dinner. Then when he walked me back to my apartment, he asked if he could use the phone, and then I made him a cup of coffee. And I can tell you that this led to a very terrifying experience for me in what literally turned out to be rape.
Pues yo soy el que trabajo y trae la plata aquí, ve y deja de hablar tanta pendejada y siga limpiando esa vaina que es para lo único que sirve.
Sí, claro, es para lo único que servimos.
Nosotros los hombres podemos hacer de todo.
Sí, nosotros
ustedes no son capaces de nada.
Las mulas, las que trabajamos, las que lavamos, las que limpiamos, las que planchamos.
Mire, no me busque porque me encuentran.
¿Qué me va a pegar ahora? ¿Yo qué le estoy haciendo acaso? ¿Por qué me va a pegar? A ver, dígame. ¿Yo qué le estoy haciendo?
¿Muy asadita o qué? ¿Muy asadita?
¿Por qué me está pegando, señor?
Por eso, a ver, diga. ¿Ah? ¿Qué la vaina conmigo? A ver. Ah, ahora sí será débil, ahora sí pobrecita, ¿no? La señora. Tan sufrida que el marido como la molesta. Grite. A ver.
Dora, mejor yo me devuelvo.
Ay, no me digas.
Se
Se va a
fue-
arrepentir ahorita aquí en la puerta de la comisaría.
Pero
no
es que de
puede.
veras Luis me puede matar, a lo mejor me problema más, fíjese.
Bueno, o es que le gusta que le peguen.
No, claro
Bueno,
que no,
entonces
pero...
camine.
Ay, de veras, Dora, no, ya pensamos que...
Por ella estaba luciendo con una canasta de los dientes y nos la montó toda la noche.
Yo casi que le digo que se vaya
La pobre que ya estaba medio borracha.
Señor, por favor.
La policía que no sabe dónde lo debe también.
No, la muchacha era más neciquera.
Hasta aquí,
Señor.
porque gritaba.
Casi que le digo a un policía que los lleve a los dos a la...
Ay, señor, por favor, llevamos media hora aquí.
Bueno, ¿qué le pasa? ¿Qué le pasa?
No, que llevamos media hora aquí y ustedes...
Aquí no me venga el barullo. Ustedes saben que la puedo meter un buen rato aquí, ¿no?
¿Qué pasa?
Señor, que venimos a poner un denuncio. El marido de ella le pegó y...
Siga, a ver. ¿Usted es la agredida?
No.
Soy yo.
Pero bueno, a la larga no fue tanto como la doña María, ¿qué? María González, la que vino hace 8 días. Sí, parece que le hubiera pegado un gancho de derecha y un jab de izquierda. Ese marido boxeador.
Pero señor, nosotros no vinimos aquí a oírle sus opiniones. Vinimos a denunciar...
Como que muy alzadita, ¿no? Usted lo que necesita es alguien que le baje esos humos.
¿Sí?
Pero bueno, señora, ¿usted no cree que pueda arreglar eso por las buenas con su marido? Mejor dicho, que lo que usted quiere. Que le pongamos una caución o que lo detengamos. Pero que mañana, por favor, no vaya a venir usted aquí lamentándose y llorando con un par de lágrimas en la cara, que me suelten su marido, que esto y que lo otro, que los niños están esperando. Porque es un caso de todos los días.
Yo no quiero que lo detengan.
¿Nombre?
Julia Rodríguez.
No, el de su marido. ¿El de su marido cómo es?
Y el de mi marido es Luis Rodríguez.
Mire lo que voy a hacer con su citación. Mire.
And I suppose that the problems of the mountains will be the organizing the environment of our cities less dangerous, more ecological, pure, more interesting, more various, and we are very worrying about the life of our children and about the future.
I think the 90s, the women will be as equal to the men in every phase of life. That's how I feel, and they should be.
How do you think that's going to happen?
I don't know how that's going to happen, but they're just going to put their foot down, and they're going to demand what they want, and they're going to get it. That's what they're going to do. I hope so anyway. I'll join them. As old as I am, I'll join them.
O dia a dia da investigadora aqui da Delegacia de Defesa da Mulher, ela recebe, no caso, as subordinadas aqui à chefia.
Every day in the morning, teams of investigators, 3 to a car, leave the station with summonses. They must locate the aggressor, go to his house, and present the summons. The work of the investigators is full of surprises and requires versatility. A routine inquiry can suddenly turn violent. It is impossible to predict how violent the man's reaction will be. Our investigators make a certain number of arrests daily. For example, when an aggressor, after 3 summonses, has not presented himself to the station, or in the case of an unidentified rapist. Most of the aggressors are surprised to be arrested by women police and don't usually resist. Occasionally, however, we must confront aggressive behavior which inhibits the carrying out of our tasks. Although the fact of being a woman can play in our favor, our street work is always risky and difficult.
pode receber uma intimação para ele? Não, não é hora de ele chegar.
Ele ontem estava trabalhando.
E ninguém pode chamar a mulher aí, nada?
Deixa eu ir.
Pelo amor de Deus. Senhora São Manuel?
Cala a boca! Cala a boca, Iane! Cala a boca!
Muito obrigada, tá? Tá rindo. Nós estamos rindo porque ele está preso. Nós conseguimos.
Olá, mulher do... Olá, Valdina.
I'm on nature's side. White man, the scientist. No, white ruling class man, the scientist. The entrepreneur, the corporation president sets out to control nature, to make it behave. But I'm a third world born working class woman. I look at it from nature's point of view, from the insect's point of view. The insect out there in the cornfield sucking the sweet juice of the crunchy cane, or the nourishing mealiness of the newly plumped kernel. Pest control takes on a new meaning now. Pest control, why we, you and I, know about pest control right here in this human society. We know all about it. We know we're pests for wanting to live our lives in peace and plenty. We're pests for not fitting in with a grand plan of cornering markets and conquering peoples, increasing profitability and productivity, of sheltering taxes and fixing prices. And we've got to be made to fit in. We've got to be controlled. A la buena o a la mala, come quietly because I carry a big stick. Now those bugs out there in our wheat fields, cornfields, orchards, and gardens, they're out for the same things we are. For a stomach full of grain and a heart full of joy. For love under a green leaf and sleep under the moon. That makes them pests. To control them, gardeners in agricultural schools, farmers and multinationals spray poisons, distribute infected blankets, unleash predators and armies, demolish nesting sites and villages and neighborhoods. And we die. Many of us die. But not all. Some of us survive. Our survivors are stronger in some ways, more wily, more versatile. We protect ourselves. We fight back. We grow in numbers. And they spray more poisons, attack again and again, and we die. And then, we who survive, revive and grow in numbers. And still they maim us and kill us. Still they spray radiation, spray malathion, parathion, Agent Blue and White and Orange, TNT and EDB. No matter how we resist, how often we survive, they spray because they're so deluded by their power, so sure that when they act, when they command, we will obey, that they can't see what's before them. They can't even understand that the more they shoot and spray us, the more numerous we become, the more we fight back, the more corn and wheat we eat, until one day we will devastate their crops, bankrupt their agribusiness, destroy their armies, topple their governments. We will survive.
The road women in China walk is extremely narrow, and it gets narrower and narrower the older one gets. There weren't many women prominent in the student movement, But the ones who were left a very deep impression on everyone. They weren't just going along for the ride. They had their own opinions, their own agenda. I got involved because of the atmosphere and all the activity at Beijing University, and the people I hung around with, who were all very idealistic and into politics, and very concerned about where things were headed in China. We wanted to do something noteworthy on the 70th anniversary of the May 4th movement, partly to promote democracy and rationalism, and partly to raise consciousness among young people. In the past several years, young Chinese had become increasingly apathetic and self-centered, more materialistic, and less concerned about society, less sense of responsibility. That's how I got involved in the movement. My parents would ask me what I was up to, and I would tell them I was just an onlooker. Since I lived at school, they had no idea what I was doing day to day. Later, when Beijing University went on strike and I didn't show up at home, they knew I must be at the square. When I didn't go home at all during the hunger strike, they were worried, partly about my welfare and partly because they felt young people should stay out of politics and not concern themselves with national affairs. When I finally went home, all sunburned and gaunt, my mother hugged me and cried. I miss a lot. My friends, my family. I can call or write to my parents, but my friends, of course I can write, but the incredible times we had together will never happen again. And when I think about that, I feel very sad, and I worry about them.
对前途啊什么的没有任何阴影，他们生活里没有什么阴影。但在中国的女孩子不一样，很多人。
I would like to see more women in politics and perhaps a presidential candidate who is a woman in the 90s.
Och att man ska kunna leva på det. Så det är det som står mig närmast, det som jag helst skulle vilja. Och att jag hittar en form för hur jag kunde få ihop spelandet och ett vanligt liv som jag ändå vill leva. Och sen så har jag tänkt på ett lite större perspektiv, så har jag tänkt på de gränserna som öppnas från östblocket. Hur det kommer att påverka oss i västvärlden, eller man ska säga. Och det tror jag kommer att bli mycket svårigheter, fast också mycket fruktbart. Och så hoppas jag på att den här stora invandringen ska kunna hjälpa människor att förstå lite mer vad en människa är. Genom att man får se olika kulturer och så.
Would you like to see in the world for the new decade?
I would like to see peace, especially now from Panama, with all the children, grandchildren, and nieces and nephews going into war.
Mi nombre es Irma, soy salvadoreña, tengo un año de estar aquí. Hermanas, no los olvidemos que somos latinas. Ayudémonos unas a las otras.
I really believe that if women would take a more serious and greater role in politics in the Middle East, that we would see a quicker moving swing towards settling the situation in a more fair and equitable way.
And my expectations or my look out for the 1990s is to have a better future for my kids and my homeland and for my people as a whole, as Palestinian people, is to have their identity, to have their homeland back, to be able to raise our heads and say we're Palestinians instead of suffering all these years or feeling like we are outsiders outside our homes.
טוב, נתחיל מהצפון. יש בצומת מירון, בעכו, בעין המפרץ, בקריית ביאליק, קריית מוצקין, בנצרת, בצומת מגידו, בצומת, סליחה, זה לא היה צומת מגידו, מה שראיתי לך, בעין חרוד, סליחה, צומת עין חרוד, בצומת העמקים, בחיפה, בגן שמואל, במעברות, בתל אביב כמובן, יש בצומת נחשון, בירושלים יש הקבוצה הגדולה ביותר, יש בצומת אופקים, בבאר שבע, יש בקטורה, ביוטבתה, היה פה כפתור והוא נפל, אני יודעת כי אני שמתי את הכפתורים, ויש גם באילת.
יש במלבורן, יש ברומא, יש בפריס, יש בדנמרק קבוצה שרוצה לעשות רשת הפגנות נשים בשחור בכל אורך דנמרק. יש בארצות הברית כזה פיצוץ של הפגנות של נשים בשחור שאני חושבת שזה מתקרב למספר שיש אצלנו.
What helps me to go through an hour of standing there in a very hostile environment is standing next to women that I trust. That's very important for me, that I stand beside women that I trust, that if anything happens, they are there and that they can help me.
The sixth decade is coming to an end. Doors have opened and shut. The great distractions are over. Passion, children, the long indenture of marriage. I fold them into a chest I will not take with me when I go. Everyone says the world is flat and finite on the other side of 60. That I will fall clear off the edge into darkness, that no one will hear from me again or want to. But I am ready for the knife slicing into the future, for the quiet that explodes inside, to join forces with the strong old woman, to give everything away and begin again. Now there is time to tell the story, time to invent the new one, to chain myself to a fence outside the missile base, to throw my body before a truck loaded with phallic images, to write "Thou shalt not kill" on the hull of a Trident submarine, to pour my own blood on the walls of the Pentagon, to walk 1,000 miles with a begging bowl in my hand. There are places on this planet where women past the menopause put on the tribal robes, smoke pipes of wisdom, fly.
better be in good favor. The world and only get the scrapings from them in control. When we sit down and look at the system and we check out the way that things been, we have to see it rank out the system still. We have to see.
This